welcome to this week's Friday Fireside Chats with Haley. I'm Haley, and this week I brought with me Kyle from Parts. So say hi, Kyle, tell them who you are and what exactly it is you do here.
Well, howdy everyone. Like she said, my name is Kyle. I work in Parts. I'm a lot of times in the back or up at the counter helping anyone out if they need any parts or accessories. I'm always there to help out.
That's great. So this week is really fun. Not that other weeks aren't fun, because they're all kind of fun, but this week I'm super excited because Kyle has a background in cooking and grilling, so I thought it would be really good to do a segment on food because everybody loves food. So kind of give us that little bit of background on your cooking, grilling experience.
Okay, yeah, so I'm from Texas, and down there I worked in restaurants, more specifically barbecue restaurants, where I'd work the pits and everything like that, work in the kitchen, and so I did that for several years of my life, and I loved it. Love cooking, it's a big passion of mine in life.
So when you say pits, so up here, I always think of gravel pits because we're on the Iron Range, or in Duluth, and I grew up on the Iron Range. So explain, that's like where they build big grilling barbecue pits, correct?
Yeah, a lot of times we would take like 1,000-gallon propane tanks, weld it out, add doors, and out a big smoke box, probably about 3 feet by 3 feet, and just have all the fire there and have a nice like 20-foot long barbecue pit. You'd do everything. We'd have probably about 4 of those going on at once in the restaurants.
Wow, that's a lot. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So we have been very privileged here. So I kind of alluded to Billion RV is up here in Duluth, Minnesota, and we have thrown some events where our VP has allowed Kyle to come in and grill for us and cook for us, and prime rib and amazing food. So I can assure you that his food is incredible. Everybody who's had it really raves about it, loves it. So he does a really good job at what he does. Hence why I have him on this week. So my question, Kyle, one of my questions is, in your opinion, everybody, when it comes to camping and cooking, sometimes people kind of get stuck because people don't always want to use their inside stove, whether it's hot or because, it's too hot inside, too hot outside, whatever. So a lot of people grill. So outside of your basic grilling, what ideas do you have for camping at or cooking at your campsite and just creating different meals that way?
Yeah, so there's several different options you can do to kind of give you more options and make a little fun out of it. I personally love using a Dutch oven, which I did bring in here today. This is actually one we sell here in the Parts. I just really think that the Dutch oven is the most versatile item that you can have out on a campsite. You can really use it on almost any cooking surface, whether you have a nice open fire and you can do it right on the coals and everything.
Yep.
You can do it inside on your stove. You can use it in your oven. You can even use it on a regular grill too, set it right on top. Perfect for all types of scenarios and every cooking surface. And it's just, you can do just about everything in it. You can use it as like a skillet. You can use it like a soup pot. You can use it as like an oven too if you put coals on top of the lid as well, so you can get heat from all sides going on. So that's really a good thing I think that every campsite should have. It's very versatile. And also just switch it up too if you ever are getting bored using the same food and everything. If you cook a lot outside, maybe do a couple meals inside. Use your oven. That all these come with nice big ovens now.
Yeah, they do. They do. A lot of them do.
Or then if you cook inside a lot, just if your campground allows it, start a nice fire and stuff. I know a lot of times too, campsites will just have those little grills, and you can start a charcoal fire in there, and you can just use your skillet, your Dutch oven, anything right on top of there as well.
Awesome. So what is your favorite thing to make in a Dutch oven?
I really love doing some type of either like biscuits or like pull apart bread and just bake it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially I will say with baking wise, it really helps if you have an open fire, so you use the coals to put on top of the lid, so you can get that.
So more of an even. Could you do a
Even.
cake? Could you bake a cake in a Dutch oven?
You could. You could bake a cake, yes.
You could.
It may take a while, but you definitely can.
That would be awesome. We may have to try that, and then we'll have to taste test it in front of you.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a new episode.
That'll be a new episode, making a cake in a Dutch oven. So, with these Dutch ovens, what is one thing that people kind of think, okay, now you have to put the coals on top. Do you have to regulate the heat? Do you have to know the heat inside? Or is it just something that you just kind of peek in and see where it's coming along? Or do you kind of guess? How does that part of it work?
Yeah, so honestly, you can have a little thermometer set inside. You can kind of slip it through the lid. Just crack it open just a little bit and you have a thermometer. You can just sit there. You have it that way. Or a lot of times, I personally like to just feel it and just go with your gut.
Yeah.
And so if you take a little quick peek every now and then, it won't hurt anything.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know one of the big things with traditional ovens, they always say if you open it, you lose all that heat. Because a lot of people open it really wide and big, and then you lose all that heat. So then when you close it, the oven has to re-kick back in. But I suppose if you're just opening it a little bit, and Dutch ovens work a little bit different than a traditional oven, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with opening the lid and stuff, you'll lose some heat and everything when you do that. But luckily, most Dutch ovens are made of cast iron, which really hold the heat in for a long time, even after taking off any of the heat source or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, obviously you do lose heat, but it does conduct it pretty well inside, though.
Okay, so say you didn't have a Dutch oven, what is your favorite thing to grill at a campsite?
Just food-wise, or?
Yeah, food-wise. So like what would, or meal or some kind of something that you're like, if I'm going to go camping and I'm going to grill something, this is what I'm going to grill.
Yeah, so a lot of times, especially in the mornings, I'm a huge fan of breakfast tacos. And
breakfast tacos.
Yes.
Okay. So what's in a breakfast taco?
So really, it can be anything you want. They can vary so much. As long as you have eggs, some type of protein, or even a starch like potatoes, and you can toss anything into like a skillet or anything. I personally love a good just egg, sausage, cheese, and then top some hot sauce and tortilla. It's very simple, very easy.
That sounds incredible. I'm really hungry now. I really want some breakfast tacos. Okay, so moving to like a dinner. So breakfast tacos in the morning. Everybody kind of snacks, at least when we camp, everybody kind of snacks at lunch. We do more like salads or something quick because kids are swimming or doing this or that. So then when everybody gathers around for dinner, we are really big rib fans. So what is this is always the big age-old question, like, dry rub or barbecue sauce? And coming from Texas and your background, is there like a don't ever do that or always do this? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so coming from Texas, dry rub is the way to go there. You can definitely at the end of it glaze it with some sauce at the very end, but I've always just done just dry rub almost the entire way through, if not all the way, and that's it.
That's amazing. We've done it at our house or campsite or wherever we're doing ribs at. We've done it a few different ways, and we keep going back to the dry rub. It just seems to be a better way to cook it. The kids seem to enjoy it a little bit more. So if you're cooking with littles, sometimes that barbecue sauce is a little bit tangy or too spicy for them. So then going back to that dry rub and changing that up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't necessarily say to go with all sauces come from my background. It's kind of blasphemy, but so I'm a little biased in that point. But
yeah, totally. So what would you say is your favorite, this is my last question, what would be your favorite dessert to cook on a campfire? Because I know that sometimes people, they always resort to like s'mores and stuff like that, which is great, and I love s'mores. I will never turn a s'more down, or a toasted marshmallow. Sometimes I have one s'more and then a toasted marshmallow because you just can't have enough toasted marshmallows. But what is something that if you wanted to drift away from that and maybe make something else, what would be your go-to?
Yeah, I really like, I don't know if you've heard of the pie press type stuff that you put in the fires. So it's basically this contraction, It's just a long handles on each side, and it's just got a little cast iron square press.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can put like bread, and then if you want to do like a s'more sandwich, you could go with the chocolate, marshmallow, and all that, and then bread on top. But or you go more like a pie, you can have some fruit in it, and all that stuff. Whether it be like apples, maybe even bananas and chocolate or something. Just have the other slice of bread on top, and you can wrap it up, put it in the fire on that little press thing, and let it go for a couple minutes on each side, and then you got nice crispy little pastry type.
That is great. So you would just use bread for that, or would you use some other kind of a crust? I'm thinking like, how would you do the crust?
Well, coming from me, I'm all about simplicity.
Yep.
Just I always like to use bread too, just because it's the simplest thing, nice, easy. You always have it on camping trips.
Yep.
So that's what I like to do.
That's
you can definitely venture out though and try new things if you want.
If you have like a can of biscuits or some kind of something that you're using that, I mean, because a lot of these campers, especially the bigger ones, have now the bigger fridges, so you can fit more in there, like a can of biscuits or something like that.
The biscuits, the croissants, anything like that would work
something
perfect
nice
in there
and
as
flaky.
well.
That would be really good. That's really good. Well, Kyle, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about food. I know everybody's probably now hungry, everybody who's watched this. But so we're sorry, but not sorry. If you guys like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, leave in the comments maybe some topics that you guys want to hear, or if you have some kind of a crazy recipe or something that you'd like us to try. Outside of baking the cake in the Dutch oven, I really think I'm going to jump on board with that. Leave in the comments what you guys want to hear about, because we really love to get you guys the content that you guys are interested in. So thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. And
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you came. So until next week, have a great day.